The spiral of silence is a communication concept that is very relevant to this year with everything going on. By diving deeper into what the spiral of silence is and how it works, we may be able to identify and stop this downward spiral within our own lives. First, we must understand what the spiral of silence is. According to Elizabeth Noel Newman, the spiral of silence is the increased pressure that people feel to conceal their views when they feel as if they are the minority. The topics that come to my mind when thinking of the spiral of silence is the election and the issue of wearing masks or not. These are both very controversial topics that have made me feel this spiral of silence lately, and I'm sure that others have felt that way as well. There is thought to be a sixth sense called quasi-statistical organ that tallies up the information about what society in general is thinking and feeling. When the spiral of silence is occurring, the individual that it is affecting already has an idea of what society thinks, and they fear being isolated for feeling or thinking differently. I'm from a small town in southern Indiana, and when I'm away at school, I tend to surround myself with those who have similar beliefs, but when I go home, I'm surrounded by those with different opinions, and I can sense that through my quasi-statistical organ, but sometimes I'm guilty of pluralistic ignorance, which is the mistaken idea that everyone thinks the same way that I do. This difference in opinion has a lot to do with the type of media that we are all consuming. My parents, for example, get their information from sources such as Fox News and Facebook, while I tend to get my information from other platforms such as Twitter and NPR. So we tend to see kind of different information, and that is partially what causes our difference in opinions. When we are surrounded by those with similar opinions, we tend to express ourselves freely in public, and then when we are surrounded by those with different opinions than us, we tend to fall silent and be more reserved. There are exceptions to this though. These are the people that will not be silenced. Hardcore nonconformists have already had their ideas rejected, so they feel as if they have nothing to lose by speaking out. And then there are avant-garde individuals who are intellectuals in the isolated minority who speak out because they are convinced that they are ahead of their time. Now that we have identified what the spiral of silence is and how it works, we must reflect on our own lives and decide if we want to continue to allow ourselves to fall into this downward spiral. It's all a choice, and now that you have the information necessary, I urge you to be more aware of the conversations that make you feel as if you should not speak or that you should conform to the views of others. Personally, I believe that my opinions deserve to be heard, so I refuse to stay silent anymore, and I hope that you will be brave and do the same.